What if I told you there's an Olympic level of healing that works 3 times faster than traditional fasting? It's called dry fasting. No food, no liquids, just pure cellular regeneration. Now, dry fasting is the temporary abstinence from food, fluids, but you must transfer and transition through intermittent fasting first. Check out my other video that goes over intermittent fasting. And I have a guide linked below, the High Performance Restoration Guide for Black female executives to understand more about intermittent and dry fasting and some of the toxins that are impounding on our bodies. Now, intermittent fasting helps you to first build your fasting muscle before moving to 24-hour dry windows, okay? Now, it takes mental willpower. If your mind is weak and focused on food all the time, this is not for you yet. But I will tell you something. I've prepared myself to be where I am to be able to dry fast for 4 days at a time. It took time to do that. And I'll keep going until I can get to a week at a time, 10 days at a time. But I'm coming to you to teach and tell you that from someone who's been doing fasts for over 20 years, that any type of fast takes mental stamina and willpower. You have to be spiritually connected in a way to something other than food. You have to have goals, dreams, visions, a why, people that you want to serve and impact, something bigger and greater than your mind focusing on food. Because what I've learned, especially during dry fasting, is that, oh my gosh, Whole Foods didn't go away. Oh my goodness, that salad that I love is still there. Oh my God, all the squash and zucchini and cucumbers and watermelon and celery and steak and all that stuff is still at the grocery store. The restaurants didn't close, Jesus. They're still there. But you have to be willing to take a chance on your health. And my why was my thyroid, my lungs, my children, longevity of life without depending on medications. You have to find out your why, okay? So if your mind has been trained for 40 years or more of I must eat to live, remember this. For those of you that are believers, you'll understand. And those who aren't believers, just hang in here with me. Jesus fasted for 40 days. I'm sure Moses and the Israelites fasted while they were going through the desert. Back then, fasting wasn't from TV and social media. Fasting was no food and no water. You fasted. They were all human, and they all lived until it was time for them to transition on. You can do this. You have to make up your mind that you want to do this. And before you know it, you'll be like me, making chocolate cupcakes. Dark chocolate is my thing. So I thought, making chocolate cupcakes for my baby on her 7th birthday just the other day, and didn't even want to touch it. Baby didn't really want to smell it. It wasn't like it turned me off, but it didn't turn me on, like I thought and had been brainwashed that it should. So you'll get to a point where you'll realize, wow, I am doing this. Okay. So dry fasting has been around for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. I mentioned Moses and the Israelites going through the desert, but also think about like warriors and pioneers in the great wild west and voyagers and journeymen, hunters. A lot of times they eat a big feast because when they're out there on the journey or they're out there hunting, which for some of them was work, or they're a journeyman out there working on the railroad or whatnot, they have to dry fast for periods at a time. You know, many of them didn't have like canteens and jugs of water and, you know, like people learned how to fast. This is not anything new. Okay. So my dad always says nothing new under the sun, but they always had a goal in mind. It was to get a project done. It was to get to the ranch. It was to fight for the country. It was for, you know, for David to sling Goliath. It was for a reason. Okay. It was for a reason. So you have to have a why. Today in 2026, we call it, what's your why? Now, dry fasting is superior for insulin regulation because the body mobilizes glycogen stores faster without external hydration. Your body starts to use the internal hydration you have put inside of it, called what has been stored, the storage that is already in your body, and it starts mobilizing that stuff. Like, oh, okay, we're going to keep her going, but we're going to use this stuff that's already in here because we don't have to use the new stuff she's putting in. We're using the stuff that's stored inside. Now, it forces a rapid transition to fat-burning ketosis. Baby, the body is powerful, okay? This God creation is powerful. I thank her every day, not only because we birthed 3 children, but she keeps me alive every day, healthily, okay? And you got to speak truth, life, love into your body so that your body knows that you appreciate all that is done. I don't care how much you think you need to lose. Tell your body, thank you. Tell God, thank you for this body, okay? And then it will be restored to be healthier for you, okay? Be grateful for what you do have. Some people can't walk. Some people can't talk. Some people have missing arms. Some people have other missing limbs. Be grateful. Let me get off my soapbox on that. I've done many fasts in my day. I've done master cleanse. I've done intermittent fasting. I've done ketosis, where you have to do, I think I did a dry fast, not knowing it was, I think it was water. But you do like 72 to 96 hours of no food, and you get the keto flu. Baby, that thing made me sit down. It made me sit down. That keto flu made me sit down. So I've done many a fast. And the master cleanse was my first fast about 23 years ago. So I have done plenty of fasts. I have plenty of information to share with you all in research and personal experience. But this one by far is proving, like, my functional nutrition practitioner training and my certification in EQ life coaching to be like, this is something new, a method that I love, and I will continue to promote it because it is proving so many things to be regenerated in self-healing. Like the fact that my lungs are healthier. I had been diagnosed by age 9 with asthma and had 2 pumps ever since then. That's over 30 years of having albuterol and flovent, Advair, flovent. Like, it was always something. And then something happened recently with my thyroid. Those things are healed. They're healed. My reproductive system is healthy. There's health in this body that if I just keep eating toxicity from inorganic, GMO-produced foods, I had to stop and think and say out loud, what else did you think was going to happen? At some point, you have to ring the alarm and say, it's time for me to take accountability for me. And that's what I did. And I'm sharing with you my experience, but also to share with you how you can take some piece of this. If it's just 4 hours a day, not going to consume anything, Mia, that's liquid or food. Fine. Start where you can. And for those who really want to take it to the next level, keep listening in. Because the longer you can go in a dry window of allowing for your body to do self-cell regeneration, honey, you will be surprised at the things that can be healed. People have gotten healed from joint pain, high blood pressure medication. The research I've done is blowing my own mind. So here we go. Fasting protects your healthy cells while leaving damaged inflammatory ones vulnerable. It's a cell cleaning party for your hormones. Here's the scientific definition of it. So, differential stress resistance, or DSR, is a biological phenomenon where healthy cells respond to the stress of fasting by entering a protective, shielded mode, while mutated or damaged cells, which lack this flexibility, remain active and become vulnerable to destruction. This selective process allows the body to clear out the bad cells while preserving the vitality of the strong ones, effectively lowering systemic inflammation. I guess the economy is on my mind too. So now to break it down a little simpler, imagine your body is a big school. This is an example I wrote out for you all. Your body is a big school and your cells are the students. When you go on a food break or fasting, the healthy students put on their superhero armor. Got on my cape and I got my shield. Okay? They're putting on their superhero armor to stay safe and take a nap. But the bully cells that make you feel sick don't know how to use armor. So while the superheroes are resting, the body's cleanup crew can easily find the bullies and escort them out the building. Okay? So, look into dry fasting more. And you can do that with my high performance restoration guide linked below. A lot of this research has come from the complete guide to dry fasting and a healthy alternative. They both have a lot of information about dry fasting for a deep dive, or you can just come along with me. This is why I go into the deep dives for you. I read the books, I join the programs, I invest to bring you this information succinctly. All right, click the link below, get your free high performance restoration guide, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.